Hey, what's up? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. So I've been using the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2025 for about 1 month now, and I wanted to go over 42 tips and tricks about this phone because I've been using it as my daily, and I definitely think it's pretty solid overall when it comes to the amount of features that are packed on here. Now, give or take, there may be a couple of more that I'm gonna add in the video just because it's 42 right now that I have on off of the dome, but I actually think that there's a few more that I'm going to add in there just as bonus features. So make sure you guys stay locked in because we're going to be taking a look at the 42 tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Motorola G Stylus 2025. So make sure you stay locked in to the end of the video. If you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through. If you're new, but if you're already a part of the crew, all right, so the first feature that I want to talk about is called float-in windows. This is a feature that becomes very useful when you're actually using this phone because you can use several different windows at the same time on this device, almost like a Note phone or a Samsung device. So basically what you do is you swipe from the bottom right here, you get your most recent app screen to appear, and then you just look for the top button right here. You could see, let me see, which app do I want to hit? The arrow right here where the app is, so there'll be like an arrow, and then you'll just hit freeform, and so that's how you actually launch a window on this device to make it so that it's basically like a floating window on the screen. And you can do this with multiple apps, so you just keep going, the app will shrink on the side and it'll appear right there. And if I want to do Facebook, I could do Facebook too. And then I can open the Amazon right on top of it. So you got two freeform apps. And so you can keep doing this as much as you like. I think you can do up to like 5 of them, but I'm not sure why you would do like more than that. But I think that's just a really solid feature on here. The second feature is basically how to do split screen. Now there's 2 different ways you can do it. Let's say you're using an app on your phone. The best way to do it is just by swiping across like that, and then it asks you to pick another app. In this case, I would probably just, let me see if I could pick the camera app. So basically I have the Bible app at the top. It didn't let me swipe across to get to the second app, but let me show you. The second app will appear, you just tap it. Now you have 2 apps on the screen. So that's the fastest way when you could activate this in gestures, and I'll show you that later in the video. But this is the fastest way to set it up. So I could pick up a wallpaper while I'm at this. But if you double tap this button, it'll switch them, which is kind of cool. So you can switch them. It also gives you 3/4 of the way on the vertical. On the horizontal, you can actually use this only half of the way through when it's dead center. But I definitely like using multiple apps at once because it allows you to do multitasking on here. And if you wanted to do the second way of doing the multiple windows, all you have to do is swipe up from the bottom, tap the down arrow, and then just touch split screen, and you can activate it in that fashion as well. So you have the 2 apps that you're basically using right here, and you can basically mess around with them. And so yeah, I have my app on the bottom, and then I have my app at the top. And so yeah, that's right here, and as soon as that thing is loaded, now I can access both apps at the same time, which is kind of cool. This one gets ads, but it's completely free of charge to listen to music, so I really like using it because it has all the albums on there. Now the third feature is with the pen. So basically all you have to do is pop the pen out with your finger, pull it out of the device, and then what you're going to do is search for sketch to image. If you don't see that option, just hit the settings icon down here and you can add it inside your shortcuts. So right here is where all my shortcuts are. If you don't see it, they'll be right here. So they actually have live message on here, which I can't add because I have all of these, but I have freeform, which is suggested, GIF maker, handwriting calculator, a whole bunch of them right here. But they only allow you up to 6. So you kind of have to choose which ones you want, and I have all of them up here. So basically you're gonna hit the option where it says sketch to image. So just go ahead and tap that, and then basically you can draw anything you want. You can basically sketch and it'll create a basically an AI image. So let me draw like an AirPod. Let me see if it'll actually I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm just gonna draw like a AirPod and see if that works. This is like the earbud part. I doubt this is gonna work, but let's see what the AI does. Once I draw this, I never drew an AirPod off the top of my head like this, but let's see what happens. So once you have the image, I have the earbud that I just drew. Let's hit. You could do watercolor, realistic, sketch, cleanup, or abstract. Let's do realistic, and then generate the image and see what AI comes up with after I just drew that earbud or that AirPod. It's probably listening to my voice, so it could probably also distinguish it. Okay, so it looks like an air dryer a little bit, but like a futuristic earbud. Let's hit redo, and then you could always hit redo if you don't like what it came up with. Let's see what it's gonna come up with right now. So it's actually formulating. Okay, yeah, it does kind of look like an earbud in a weird way. But yeah, that's basically, let's try. I'm kind of curious to see what abstract looks like. Generate. So yeah, that's basically AI image. If you don't have any artistic skills whatsoever, this feature will definitely come into, it'll definitely be useful. And so yeah, you can see this looks kind of cool. It gives you like an abstract image of what I just drew, which is kind of sweet. So if you want to basically draw a sketch or write on here, and you want to have the same pen tool pop up every single time, all you have to do is basically, you have three options: checklists, which is awesome. You have canvases, which allows you to have an open space to write on, and then you have like a notebook style. But let's go into any one of the notes that I was doing, and one of the things you can do is change the preferences by clicking the three dots at the top, and then it's going to allow you to basically pin the shortcuts, lock gestures, set background, share, or delete. But if you go back to the main option right here where all your notes are, click that three dots again and hit settings. This will allow you to choose your pen preferences, which is kind of cool. You can also change this setting, so you could last known location of the stylus. This one is also going to be pretty useful when it's out of the case, and for a long period of time you'll be reminded. Vibrate when the stylus is inserted, and then also stylus writing right directly in. We'll get into that in another later in the video. But click pen preferences, and this is where I have my pen set to the first one right here with the finest tip pause, and then you can choose between the pencil one or these ones, the marker. But I have this one set as default in white, and then that tool will come up every time I take the pen out automatically, which is pretty helpful. So when you're actually in a note, you can actually go inside the note you want to lock it for. So a lot of the times, like gestures, you can see is activated still. Like right here, I could still swipe up from the bottom and open the note. But if I click the three dots and hit lock system gestures, it's basically locked, and I can't do nothing except, write inside of here, which is helpful because you won't like accidentally swipe out, it's like it permits you from actually going back or going out. And basically that's going to be helpful when it comes to like note taking. So you can't go back and you can't go out from the bottom. So the system's locked, and then you can also unlock it. So now if you want to go back out, you have the ability to exit now. All right, so the number 6 tip I have is basically with the pen, allowing you to write on any screen, like basically words. So basically you're gonna go to pull out the pen, you're gonna go into your settings, and this is the shortcuts I was telling you about. So you're now in the shortcuts option, get rid of this, go into the settings option now. And this is where you have the ability to change the panel style with label or without label. So you can choose the panel style right there just by going up. So if you wanted to do it without label, now when you open up the pen settings right here, you pull the pen out, it's going to show it without the label. So let me show you what that looks like. So now it's just the pen features right here without the label. And you could always add that back just by tapping this. So that kind of gives you some customization there. Then you want to actually activate stylus writing. So stylus writing is cool because you can use the pen to actually start to search things. So let's say I have the search box open. As soon as you write inside of the search box, it's going to basically work like a pen. So let me just type something. It's actually, the first time you do it, it actually is slow to respond, but then after that, it'll be pretty fast. So I'm just typing next, hit the search button, and now I can basically search things in here with the pen. So Moto G. And then if you want to go back, you can write a line through it, and then it'll basically, let me show you. It'll highlight the text and you can hit cut and then just do it again. The slower you do it, the more accurate it is. And there it is, Moto G Stylus, what I was trying to search for with the pen. So it allows you to basically use the pen as a drawing tool. And this is the older version, the 2024 model, which is actually, looks like it's on sale right now for $299. So yeah, I like that feature with drawing on the Moto G Stylus 2024 when it comes to like drawing out words. The next feature I want to talk about is basically allowing you to open up the app drawer right here, and you're going to click the 3 dots at the top right corner right here, and this is how you actually create a folder in your app drawer. So I did it with the shopping app here where I have all my shopping apps right there. It does the Moto apps automatically and it does the Google apps automatically. But let's say you wanted to create another category, like maybe music, hit create folder, then tap all the apps that basically have that theme. So I'm just adding all my music apps in here, the ones that I use for music. And then basically once you're done, you can go ahead and hit create folder right here at the bottom, hit done. And then it's going to create this folder. It's going to say unnamed, but you can just tap it. And I'm going to put music here with the pen. And I didn't like how that did that. So let's hit cut. And then I'm just going to type music again. It put must though. Let's do that one more time. Cut. And then the slower you do it, the more responsive. So M-U-S-T. Wait. There we go. And then now I have my music folder inside of my app drawer, so I could easily get to my music folder right here through my app drawer. Now, another feature that I like about this phone is that it allows you to do cutouts. So let me just find an image. So basically you could do cutouts. So remove the pen and this thing is going to be called freeform crop. So just hit freeform crop. Then it'll take a picture of that image. You could basically zoom in a little bit to as far as you want to go before it crops it out. And you can outline the image, just the image, so it removes the background. And I like to do this when, you know, it allows you to create stickers and things like that. So If you wanted to create stickers, this is the best way to do it. So it cuts it out, and then you can just hit that check mark right there. So now the image is saved. So basically, if I go into collections, and then right here, screenshots, and now so this image is just the cutout image of what I wanted to view without the background there. All right, so the next feature has to do with customizing the home screen. So basically just go to your settings inside of your phone. You're gonna locate settings right here, click it, go to home screen options. So let me go back. So here it is, home screen and lock screen. And what you wanna do is click Control Center. And so what I have it set to is the modern option. So whenever I swipe from the right side, it gives me my control center, and whenever I swipe from the left side, it gives me my notifications, which is how I like it. But if you wanted to go back to the older way, you could just hit classic. So now when you swipe down, everything is basically included all in one. So you have your notifications at the top. This is like the older way, how they used to do it, everything combined, and then you'd have your notifications below. But I kind of like this modern style because it separates the control panel, and then you could swipe over, and now you can access your notifications, which is kind of clutch. All right, so the number 10th option is going to be inside of our option right here. And you saw that lock screen. I'm going to show you how to do that, so make sure you stay locked into the end of the video. But if you're still here, just type in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm. All right, so the next tip I want to just show you is how to personalize your lock screen, bubble list, or let me show you right now. So you long press the screen. Then next thing you're going to do is go to Personalize. After you go to Personalize, you're going to find your way down to lock screen and clock faces right here. And then you're just going to click this option right here where it has the notifications. This allows you to change the notification style to bubble or to the chip. And so basically you have those two options. So now that when you lock the screen and you tap it once, you'll have one chip with all your notifications that you can look at, and you can close it again. And it's just everything's there. You hit close, open, close. But if you wanted to go back to the other way, just go ahead, hit lock screen, hit that button, do bubble. Now you can lock it, tap it once, and now you have all your notifications spread out, so you can choose them individually or all at the same time. So this one will pop up. If I just want to see each one by one, I could kind of see what I'm looking at here, which is definitely helpful when you're just like picking and choosing, you know exactly what you're looking for. I think this is the best one that I prefer on my lock screen. Another cool option there is inside of home settings right here. Actually, if you go back and click themes inside of Personalize, so hit long press it, then hit Personalize. But once you long press it, the themes automatically show up. So you can see you have Default, Moto, Seaway, Honey, and Merlot. So those are your themes. And then you have your fonts right here that show up. So you can kind of customize the look of your phone. If you hit Personalize, it'll take you right there too. So you could see all of them here. And it gives you the option to customize them the way you want them to look. When it comes to the themes, the colors as well. You could also theme the icons so that they look the same color as the back image you selected, the back color you selected. And then you have display size. So if you're hard on seeing, you can actually make it bolder, make the font bigger, or even make the display bigger. You can customize your fingerprint as well right here with the little animation that comes up when you touch it. And then it gives you the ability to change the icon shapes as well and things like that. And then also the home screen wallpapers and lock screen wallpapers, as well as the notification sounds and ringtones. And so we're actually still early in the video. It's only the feature number 12, which is going to basically be the option right here where you can actually get feature 11, where you can customize your lock screen shortcuts. So if you long press right here, go to Personalize. Now if you go to the lock screen right here, this one allows you to customize right now I have it set to the camera and the QR scanner, but if you click it, it gives you the option to do flashlight, none, do not disturb, mute, video camera, and also wallet. So you can customize those. And then you can also customize the notification style like I showed you before by clicking that. But yeah, you can also customize these ones, and you can actually put any app that you want there. So they do give you the ability to put any app that you want there. And basically once you lock the display now, click it once, as long as you double tap and get there. Now if you long press that option, you can easily get to your app without unlocking it. So that's kind of cool. And then I can just go ahead and take a picture or something like that. Now, a very useful feature in here is called Circle to Search. And the way that you activate it on the Moto G Stylus 2025 is to go into Settings. The next thing you want to do is go into Display. Go all the way down to the bottom of the phone. And once you're at the bottom of the phone, actually it's inside of Gestures, my bad. So click Gestures right here. Go all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see an option called Circle to Search. Let me just see if I could find it. So click System Navigation right there, and then you're going to see it right here at the bottom, and just make sure you have that turned on. And so if you're inside of an app, let's say social media like Meta or something like that, and you want to find out some information, see if it's like real or not, or just fake news, you can long press the bottom of the screen, circle the image, and get real-time information from AI on whatever you're looking at. So it'll tell you what you're looking at and give you kind of like a fact checker or like, you know, something like that, so that you can kind of stay more informed. So Circle to Search is very helpful to basically ask your phone, what am I looking at? Whatever's on your screen, it'll help you, you know, kind of determine what you're looking at. Feature number 13 with the tips and tricks and hidden features for the Moto G Stylus 2025. If you go down to where it says System inside of Settings, so just locate Settings, then you're going to tap the System, not System Navigation, but there's another option in here called System, which we're going to find right now, and hit it right down here. Click that option and then just tap Performance, and basically you have this app right here. It's something called Smart App Launch. Enable your device to learn usage patterns so apps can be launched quickly. So I like that option, but you also have this option where you click RAM Boost. And so right now it has my phone boosted for 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's an automatic optimized memory. So you can use it up to 16 gigabytes on here. So right now the AI determined that 4 gigabytes is what I would need, which expands it to 12 gigabytes of memory usage automatically. Now, another tip, which is the 14th tip, is going to be found in your accessibility options inside of Settings. So what you want to do is go back on the Home Settings options right here. Now that we're in Settings, we're going to locate accessibility. Just go ahead and tap that option. And so inside of accessibility, you actually have the ability to turn on flash notifications. So you can see right here, flash notifications for if you're not able to hear your phone, the camera will flash, and that'll let you know that you're receiving a notification on here. Also in Settings, if you look under apps, what's really cool is that you can lock any app on your phone. They have this option called Lock App. So just go ahead and tap that, and now basically you can use your PIN number, password, or pattern to lock an app, and it will give you the ability to basically, if anyone tries to get in an app, they're going to have to access it using a password, pattern, or security measure. Another thing that's pretty cool with the Moto G Stylus 2025 is that it's very secure. So if you go into security and privacy and scroll all the way to the bottom where it says more security and privacy, what you can actually run on this device is a quick scan. It's a security scan to make sure all your apps are working properly without any malicious activity happening. And it gives you a report within a few seconds to actually let you know how your device's health is going. It'll also recommend 4 different options: pin scramble for extra security, auto lock, which lock your phone when you move away from trusted places or locations, app lock, which I just talked about, and secure folder, which will create a secure folder to lock your apps and files in a secure location. Now, if you go back into settings inside of your Moto G Stylus 2025, and just click the option where it's going to say gestures. This has a lot of useful features that I want to cover. So hit gestures. And so the first thing that I wanted to show you inside of here is the sidebar. This is really helpful. Activating the sidebar allows further use of your phone, and it gives you the option to basically pull out this sidebar and have access to your apps just with the touch of a finger. So I can literally tap that and it'll automatically open up Spotify. And this is another way you can actually do the free form when you open it up through the sidebar, allowing you to do little windows right here by swiping over, tapping, getting to the app within a separate window. It'll launch the window in a smaller window, so you could do up to like, I think 5 of these at once. And what's really cool is that the Moto G Stylus can actually handle a lot of these windows at one single time. You could also shrink them when you're not using them so that they're just a little icon on the right hand side. And so, yeah, this is a very good tool for also getting into your, not only your full screen with the app right here when you drop it in, but you could also get into split screen when you put it to the bottom. And now you're able to actually do multiple windows. So this is 2 windows on top of each other. And then, let's see. Now you could search for whatever you want in Google. And then you can also access the top window that you were using at the same time, which is kind of cool, while still being able to access your, freeform apps. So this is very helpful. And I think this is a great addition to the Moto G Stylus. And when you're done, you could just swipe down and it'll take you back to a single app, and everything you can see is now closed out. Now, another really solid feature that I love using inside of gestures is actually hidden it away. And this is one of my favorite features. It's called Quick Launch. So the Quick Launch feature is really sick because if you double tap the back of the Moto G Stylus 2025, you can basically have this option right here. If you hit the gear icon, trigger an action. So right now I have it for play pause on my music, but you can also have it open an app, switch to last app, back, screen recorder, take screenshot, or open Smart Connect, which we're going to talk about, and recorder. And then you could also customize the strength. So I have it set to moderate. So right now, if I double tap that option, it's going to play music. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. It didn't do it that time. So let me play the music so it can recognize the gesture. Right now the app hasn't been used in quite some time, so it's probably asleep. But if I go into Spotify real fast, and I'm trying to locate my Spotify app. So you got to kind of hit it like around this area. So you can hear that play and pause. Let me show you one more time. And there you go. So it'll play and pause or do any shortcut that you want it to with the tap of a finger. It even works with my thumb and my pointer. So while we're still talking media control, the gestures key is also useful for switching songs when the screen is locked. So you can go to the option right here where it says media controls, and with the volume key on the top or bottom, you can switch songs by holding it to switch forward and back on the bottom. So if I lock the screen, double tap the back to play. So now it's playing. I could switch the song by long holding the top button. And when I long press it again, I could keep switching the songs, which is cool. Then I could pause it, which allows me to control my music when the screen is not even being operated. Another useful feature inside of gestures is also going to be called power key controls. This is really awesome and also slept on because you have the ability to press and hold to get your digital assistant or your power action or no action. So when I long press this button, who's playing in the NBA Finals?
On Thursday, the Pacers will play the Thunder at 8:30 p.m. The Pacers will play the Thunder on Sunday at 8 p.m. The Thunder will play the Pacers on June.
So you can get your digital assistant when you long press it or your power button. And when you double press it, you could get the camera or no action. So obviously I'm going to make that the camera, which is definitely really good shortcut for most smartphones have that feature as well. So something that I wanted to trace back on is this app right here, this option called Sidebar. Like this thing, you can move it around, and right here I have it set to this side of the phone. When I long press it, it gives me the option to touch the top, and now I can drag it over to any place I want on the phone. So you can see that dark icon under my thumb is where it's moving to, and I could also drag it to the other side just by touching the top right here. So that's how you move it. The other thing is that if you hit the settings icon down here and click the gear icon here, you can change it so that the apps will open up in freeform or they can open up in full screen. So they don't have to open up in freeform, and then you can open notifications in freeform, or you can turn that off and the notifications will open up in full screen. Now, one of the features that makes this phone very worthy of buying is the option right here called Smart Connect. So I think it's here down in the menu. If I swipe over, let me see. And if you don't see it here, basically you can find it really easily just by going to your Moto folder and then clicking Smart Connect, which will allow you to they've added more and more features to this, so you can pair with your Windows PC, pair with your Moto Watch Fit, extend the screen to a PC or tablet. Also, you can smart casted smart TVs, we use a Miracast, customize Moto Buds, track things with accuracy, and pair with a VR headset. They have add device, and they also have the options here to you could basically do whatever's on your phone will be transferred, so you can get calls, messages, and more on your PC when you actually pair your device to it. You also have the ability to use this with your desktop, so it's basically going to be a full desktop experience with your phone and your PC basically synced into one, which is really cool. You have the option to use your phone as a display or create a virtual phone screen on your PC as well. There's just so many different options on this. Obviously, my favorite one is when I add my smart TV to it and I use it to connect my device, and it basically turns it into a trackpad on my phone where I can basically control my TV through my phone, and whatever's happening through my phone is a wireless connection to it. So it basically transfers what's on my phone screen to my TV. So this is something that I love using, and I definitely think is a solid feature on here. So feature number 25 is when you long press your display and click home settings, you have the option to change your home screen to an app drawer, or you can change it so that all the apps appear on the screen at once without the app drawer. And if you do the same thing one more time, hit home settings. The other thing is that you can remove the option where it says swipe access for the Google feed. So if you don't want the Google feed to appear, hit nothing. So now when you swipe to the left, the Google feed will disappear, but you can easily add it back at any time you want just by tapping Google feed. And now you'll see the Google feed basically appear there when you swipe all the way to the left. But do me a solid, if you made it to this part of the video, you're a real one. Just type down in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And put in hashtags MVP, because you're a real one if you made it to this part. But we're going to continue. Make sure you hit the pause button. Just take a break. Make sure you come back to the video in a few minutes, and we'll resume right after this. So there were a few features that I didn't add to this list that I just wanted to cover real fast. And if you go into settings, they're very easy to find. So it's basically going to be found inside of gestures again. And this phone has so many different gesture features. These are the ones. So flip to D&D. When you flip the phone down and lay it flat, it's going to basically block notifications, calls, messages, and you can still hear alarms. So I use that all the time. Pick up to silence. So when you pick the phone up, it'll basically silence the ringer and it'll vibrate. The next one is lift to unlock. So when you lift the phone up, by looking at it, the screen will automatically unlock with your face. The next one is flashlight. When you chop like this, you'll get your flashlight option. And I just wanted to cover these all at once because I forgot to talk about them. And the other is quick capture. So if you tap this button, basically all you have to do is move your phone like that by twisting it and do it again. You'll get to the front camera and you could also get to the rear camera. So those are just the extra things that I just wanted to add in this video that I forgot to cover. All right, so feature number 27 has to do with optimizing your battery health now. So let's talk a little bit about optimizing the battery on this phone. So basically all you have to do is go to your battery options right here. And one of the things that I like to do with this phone when I'm using it is do charging boost. So it will give your phone an accelerated charge and it won't mess up your battery. So it says when charge boost is on, your phone will be optimized charging. By safely boosting the charging speed, this process may heat up the phone. So you'll actually get a faster charge whenever you have this turned on. The second thing I like to do inside of my battery is turn on adaptive battery. Now this feature will limit battery it'll limit battery for apps that you don't use often. To extend the battery life, adaptive battery limits batteries for infrequently used apps. So I like to have this feature turned on when I'm not using certain apps every single time. And the next feature is optimized charging. So basically charge more efficiently to keep your battery healthy. Basically this is my runtime. So it shows you like optimized charging is recommended if you charge your phone on a regular schedule. For example, if you charge your phone during your sleep, this feature is not recommended if you have an irregular schedule. So basically it uses AI to help you determine your charging cycle. And if you want overcharge protection, which I don't normally have because I would like to have 100% on my phone when I charge it, but it'll keep your phone limited to 80%. And then once a week, your battery will charge to 100% to keep it calibrated. Now, the next feature I want to talk about, which is basically the 31st tip in here, is inside of the S Pen features or the Stylus features. So this is your Moto calculator. And it's the Moto handwriting calculator. So this is basically an AI camera with the pen. If you click this option where it says handwriting calculator, and it'll open. Right now it's not opening. The phone is a little bit jammed up, but here we go. Now it's it was just frozen for a second. So let's go back to the options right here. That's the first time I've ever seen this phone freeze, which is pretty insane because it never does that. So let's just do a math equation, 2000. All right, so there's a little bit of lag right now. Let me pause the video. All right, here we go. So we're gonna do a quick math equation. So 2002 times 2. And you make sure your handwriting is neat. That time it was not good. You can see sometimes you have to write a little bit with a little bit more pressure. 24 times 2 divided by 3 plus 4 minus, oh wait, what the hell? What was that? Minus 5. Sometimes you gotta write with a little bit of pressure. Minus 5. Okay, so yeah, it works pretty well. 2002. So it thought I meant, okay, so sometimes it's a little bit gimmicky and sometimes it doesn't accurately draw on here. So 24 plus 8, and you just have to write with a little bit of pressure so that it can actually work 100% of the time. So when it wasn't working before, that's because I wasn't adding enough pressure to it. One of the things I love about this phone is it has dual speakers that offer Dolby Atmos. So if you long press the Dolby Atmos button on the drop down menu, you have this option where it says use audio effects, and you also have this gear icon we can click on. So this phone does have spatial audio compatibility, and media becomes more immersive. You have smart audio where it identifies the content and performs the adjustments to deliver the best sound. And then you have different genres like music, movies, games, podcasts, and then custom. So custom allows you to, manually adapt it, and you can put bass boost on, and you can also do a virtual surround virtualizer. So there's so many different things you can do with it. I'm going to put it back to smart audio so that it could adjust automatically through whatever's recommended for what I'm playing at that time. And so obviously this phone has 120 hertz refresh rate, which is going to be really good when it comes to using it and scrolling through social media. But if you wanted to actually tone it down a bit and save battery, this phone does have 60 hertz, and it also does have auto smart optimization. Right now, I'm going to show you how to customize your lock screen, like how I have mine. So if I double tap, you can see that there is an animation on here. And I'm going to show you that animation right now. So right now it didn't do it. Let me see. Sometimes the animation will freeze up. Right now it's freezing up. There we go. Now it's playing. So you can see the animation has like raindrops coming down on the screen. Let me show you how to do that. And I put that on my lock screen because, if you put it on your home screen, it might drain a little bit more battery. But long press this display, go to wallpapers. Next thing you want to do is go into your photos. So you could choose the photo that you want. In this case, I'm going to select this one right here, like the little ninja lady. Now it's going to give us the option to animate it. So you can choose zoom. You could choose sway, where you can sway your phone to make it do whatever you want. You could do the ripple, the snow, the rain, or the AI zoom. So any one of these features is going to be pretty solid. You can see it's still loading. Let me go back to the photos, go back to anime, select the image. Then you can stylize it. So it'll give you different artwork from that one image, kind of stylize it to make it look different than how it appeared when you first looked at it. And then you have others, so you can customize the brightness and you could customize the blur. So let's just do sway. Hit got it. I'm gonna sway my phone and then hit set. And then let's do this as the lock screen. Okay, so it didn't do it. Let me try that one more time. Wallpapers. I'm gonna click Animate X, click my image, click Sway. You also have this option right here where you can move the image around, scroll on the image disabled, scroll enabled, and then you can crop it in, maybe make it to just her face, and then sway it. And then I'm just gonna sway it like that, then hit set. Now it says wallpaper added successfully. It didn't change, so I'm not sure what's going on right now, but yeah, that's actually how you would customize it. But for some reason, it's not changing right now with that feature. All right, so I got it to basically change to that. So yeah, really cool customizations when it comes to the home screen. Another useful feature is double tapping to lock it and double tapping to unlock it, which I basically use all the time. So basically to get that enabled, you have to go into your home and lock settings right here on the home screen. Hit home screen, home and lock screen, hit basically this one that says lock screen, go all the way down to the bottom where it says jump to lock screen, and you're gonna tap this one, keep that on, and then also put display to sleep. You can actually turn that on as well. So now that whenever you double tap it, it'll lock, and double tapping it will also unlock it. So yeah, that's a really helpful feature. A lot of people were telling me that their screen turns on a lot and they don't like that. So you can actually turn this feature off, wake screen for notifications, turn the screen on for a moment when you receive a notification. If you don't want that feature on, just go ahead and click right here and your screen won't turn on whenever you receive a notification anymore. And for whatever reason, if you don't want the screen to actually, turn on frequently, there's another feature right here where it's basically built into the display. It's called Sleep Display. So what you want to do is click that option right here and basically quickly peek and interact with time notifications, media player controls while your phone is asleep. It uses minimal power. So if you have that turned on, the peek display will kind of turn on every now and then when you're moving the phone or move to show. I turn that off, so when I'm moving it, it won't show. Lift to show will also make that turn on, and tap to show. So if you don't want any of those features on, you could turn those off. But yeah, for the most part, I like having that feature on. Now, there are a few features in the camera that I definitely wanted to highlight. The first one being the automatic collage, or that's AKA if you go all the way to the end where it says more and you click photo booth, the phone will actually produce 4 images and create a collage. So if you tap this button, let me show you right now. You basically have to tap it, look at the phone, and it's going to give you 4 different images. So if you pose 4 different times, it's like you're in a photo booth. You could do this with friends, family members, and loved ones. And then the final product will just basically show like an image. It'll take 4 images and it'll turn it into this collage for you. So that basically it's like kind of capturing memories and different facial expressions at the same time. And then obviously those 4 images will appear separately too. So you have those images separately and then you have them all at once as a collage image. Now the next feature is called steady or action shot. I like to use this feature when someone is moving, like a cat or a dog or a kid. Basically the icon is right here, and when you tap that, it says action shot is on. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I was moving really fast in this image and I didn't have that feature turned on. But basically, if you don't want if you fast movements, you can see right here kind of blur. and you'll get this kind of thing going on. So with the action shot on, it's basically going to prevent that from actually happening. So you won't have that turn on. I mean, basically it won't have your photos blurred when it's turned on. And inside the settings of the camera, if I go into settings, I like to keep the option on where it says capture methods. So you just go to capture methods and you can tap anywhere to take a shot, smile to take a shot, or put your palm up to the screen. And you have those 3 ways of taking a photo as well. This phone also uses audio AI. So if you go right here where it says audio AI audio, if you can amplify audio in zoomed area of the viewfinder. And this is pretty cool because when you zoom in, the audio will get louder as you take the image. And the last feature is called Photo Enhance, and this is in photo. If you click this icon that looks like a picture frame, basically it's going to enhance the photo through image processing, allowing it to be a little bit more natural. Well, the natural one will be on the right. The enhanced one will increase the colors and the brightness automatically using like different technologies through Moto AI. And so you basically hit done and then enhance is on, and the processing time may be longer now whenever you take a photo, but whenever you use that, it's basically going to be a lot more optimized when it comes to the colors, the brightness and the tones, and even the detail. It's going to look extremely well. It's going to look really good. And then you also have your other lens in here, which is the ultra high res lens, which will capture images in a lot more detail when you zoom in. But hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. This was my 42 tips and tricks and hidden features for the Moto G Stylus. But if you're still here, just type down in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help boost the engagement. I'll hit you back. I'll check you guys later. Namaste.